Hello, D-Rock here. Welcome to the channel. I hope you all are well. Yes, I think the Yamaha XT250 is a fantastic beginner bike. And I'll tell you why. There's actually a few reasons. First reason is just the ease of use. The ease of use, you say? Yes, the ease of use. And by ease of use, I mean a couple things. First, the motorcycle doesn't weigh very much. I believe it's in at 290 pounds. Second, the seat height. If you're 5'10" or under, or let's just say or a shorter rider, this bike is excellent because you can get your feet on the ground and stand flat-footed when the bike isn't moving. 3, electronics. This is a 2020 model. It's got a little LCD panel, a couple buttons, and that's it. That's all you need to ride it. You basically just put the key in it, hit the ignition, and go. It's very simple. Power. This isn't a very powerful bike, so you hit the throttle, it's not going to stand up. You're going to go, but you're not going to go really fast. That can be intimidating to new riders. Very importantly, reliability. This motorcycle's turnkey, bulletproof as they say, which means it's not going to leave you stranded on the side of the road. I mean, you take care of it, general maintenance, change the oil, you know, don't destroy the thing, it'll last you your life pretty much. Affordability. It's not an expensive motorcycle, brand new. Oh, what are they? I think I got mine for like $5,200. Not very expensive at all. Used ones hold their value. You can find one a few years old and they're still going for $3,000-$4,000, but with that amount you're still getting a great motorcycle. Good luck finding a used one. They're really hard to find used. Jeez, right now they're really hard to find new. All right, so like I said, this is a 2020 Yamaha XT250. This is what I learned to ride motorcycles on. This was my first motorcycle, and I wasn't very intimidated by it. For example, if the Kawasaki KL650 was my first motorcycle, I don't think it would have gone so well, to be honest with you. But I went with this, and I bought it new, so I've had it a couple years now, and I've taken my spills on it, you know, ridden it on the dirt, ridden it on the asphalt. I've ridden it in the desert in California and Arizona and Nevada and Utah, and it is a fantastic bike, let me tell you. And another thing I might add while I'm talking about reasons to start off with this bike is the range. And by range I mean gas wise. On a tank of gas you'll get 120, maybe 140 miles before you need to gas up. That's pretty good. You know, you carry a little extra fuel with you and you got quite an impressive range. So another good thing about this bike, or learning with this bike, is that it's easy to build confidence with this bike. That's because this bike is easy to use, if that makes any sense. Meaning it's hard to get frustrated on this bike. For example, you know, you can, it's a low bike, so getting on the bike, standing up on the bike while you're, say, at a stoplight or coming to a stop and getting your feet down, that's not a big problem. These are little things that go a long way in building your confidence. It's a little torquey bike. It's great in the dirt. Absolutely. You can build your confidence in the dirt. And building confidence is key to becoming a good rider. So, that's another good reason. It certainly helped with my confidence. Good chunk here. So there's a few things that really help with your first motorcycle, and why this is a good start. Also, while I'm at it, a TW200 is another great motorcycle to start with. That my wife Jen, that was her first bike. She absolutely loved it. So let me show you. One of the reasons this is just great is because you can just do this. You can walk right up to it, swing your leg over it, and that's it. You're sitting on the bike and you're flat-footed. Now let me tell you, what am I, 5'9", 5'10"? So I'm not a really tall dude. My inseam is 32 inches, but I've got ample room. My knees are actually a little bent. If you're a 5'8", 5'6", 5'7", this is still an excellent bike to learn on, and that goes for you ladies as well. It's not very intimidating because that right there, you can get on, swing your leg over, and you're touching the ground. Piece of cake. So I mentioned the bike was light, which is very important. If you're a beginner, that is, having a lighter bike makes a big difference. That also goes to the confidence and things like that. But I'll show you why. So if you're planning on and first, if you're gonna take your XT250, or let's just say if you're planning on running a motorcycle in the dirt, this is what's gonna happen. Yes, you're gonna lay it down. You're gonna lay it down more than once. And let me tell you, picking up a bike that weighs 290 pounds, say, versus picking up a bike that weighs 440 pounds, there's a big difference. So my KLR weighs about that, 430, 440, 450, whatever, with gear and everything on it. So this here, 290 pounds, let me tell you, at first it's going to scare you, but it happens, you know, it's just the way it is. And picking this thing up is just simple. It just goes right up. And there you have it. So I'll go ahead and apologize real quick. Wind's gonna howl today. It's supposed to howl 30 miles per hour, so I thought it'd be a great idea to go for a motorcycle ride. So please disregard the wind noise. Nothing I can really do about it. And by ease of use, simply just turn it on. That's it. And you're off. Off to having fun. You gotta love that. Yeah, so what I mean by when you just turn the key and hit the switch and you're going is, some motorcycles you just gotta mess around with some electronics to get started, or there's no choke on this, it's fuel injected. It's simple things like that, you know, just turn it on and go. Sometimes having less is more, if you know what I mean. So it's nice not to have to mess with things. this bike is just fun. It is just fun. You're gonna have fun on it. That's what I'm trying to say. This whole time, that's all I've been trying to say is you're just gonna have fun on it. Will you outgrow it? Maybe, maybe not. I wouldn't say I've outgrown it. I've moved on to some larger bikes like the KLR 650 and more recently the Honda CRF 300L, but that's just because, you know, I've come to realization that I really like ride motorcycles. And you know, there really is now no one perfect bike. Maybe some get close, but there isn't. And so you're better off just having multiple motorcycles. Seriously, some do some things better than others, you know what I'm saying? One thing will ride better on one motorcycle will ride better on the road, another will ride better in the dirt. So it is what it is. That's why you have multiple motorcycles. Having a Yamaha XT250 in the stable is not a bad idea. Not a bad idea at all. Now, there are a couple things, cons, I guess, about the Yamaha XT250. One is the seat. The seat's bad, man, let me tell you. After about half an hour riding, you're gonna feel like you're on an angry 2x4. No joke, folks. But you can always switch out the seat, say like a Seat Concepts, or you can add pads. On this one here, I've got an AirHawk pad. That definitely makes a big difference. And another thing is, what's great about this bike is also a con about the bike, and that is if you're shorter, this bike is fantastic. However, if you're taller, if you're above 5'10", 6 foot, 6'2", 6'1", you know where I'm going, then the bike can actually be can become uncomfortable, just because it feels like your knees are squinched up into your chest. So on longer rides, you know, that may become a bother, but that's just the way it is. Woo, man, there's some wind, ferocious, let me tell you. Now, the XT250 has 5 gears. You'll ride just fine on the highway, but 65 miles an hour, you'll feel a little pinned out there. I've gotten mine, I think, gotten it up to 72 miles an hour. And of course, that was with some help, like downhill, wind at my back kind of thing. But she'll go 70. It's not the best at those speeds, let's be honest. But you can't have everything, can you? Now, if you're touring around back roads and on the dirt and stuff like that, you got nothing to worry about. But if you want something to ride on the interstate all the time, well, you may want to think about something else. I'm not saying it won't do it or can't do it, because it can, but you know, like I said, no one bike does everything great. So there you have it. So let's go back to pros. Now, this is important, especially if you're riding in the dirt, chunk, deep sand, things like that. This little 250, it's one nimble little motorcycle. She can get in and out of stuff, and it doesn't weigh much. So if you get into the deep sand like I have before, you know, you're not dealing with a lot of weight. And if you got to push her around and stuff like that, being nimble and a little smaller, a little easy to walk around and stuff like that is going to help greatly, which will also help your confidence. Ooh, man, look at that, breezy. So right now I'm in first gear, and earlier I said, you know, this is a torquey little moto. It is, man. Just in first, and it'll just crawl up things, you know, crawl up hills and stuff like that. That's fantastic. And when you want some speed, get some AC going, she'll do that too. Ooh, yeah, and then boom. That's first. She's nice and slow. So if you want to do that kind of ride, it's like a little tractor, man. Oh, do that too. Ooh, some sand. All right. Well, wouldn't you know it, I had to stop and take a phone call, and I sat down because I have service out here, and I left the motorcycle on, like the ignition switch on, so she's dead. Can't get her started. I'm way out here. So I got a problem. Yes, indeed. My only option at this point is to see if I can bump start her. And I'm by myself. So, this is bad, but it could be worse. I do have a little water with me. Yeah, nothing. Great. Well, here's kind of a hill to go down. Oh man, I really hope this works. Well, remember what I told you about having a light motorcycle? Yeah, this is when you want it. All right, well, here goes nothing. Yes! Woo, baby! Nice! Hello! Woo! Yeah, baby. Whew. Okay. Important thing is not to let your hand off the clutch. So, we ain't stopping. How do you like that, folks? Is that not awesome or what? Whew. Just so you know, you can bump start a 2020 Yamaha XT250. So we're going to be a little conservative riding out of here. Now I need to say one thing about reliability, because I mentioned that a little while ago. This bike is extremely reliable, but this is the original battery in it, and I haven't exactly been spending a lot of time on the motorcycle because I got the KLR 650 and the Honda CRF 300, and you know, I was doing a lot of riding there. So, but I wanted to come back to it, and you know, this is my fault actually, because the bike's been sitting. We've just been riding it periodically, and I left the bike on while taking a phone call, and that was enough to kill it. So there you have it in a nutshell. But the bump start worked perfectly. I am super stoked because I'm way back here in the desert. Oh my goodness. All right, let's get out of here, shall we? Can you imagine trying to push that KLR up that hill to bump start that? No thanks. I'm glad I was on the 250. See, there you have it. It's so light that it's just easy to bump start if you got to. There's another pro. Oh man, I thought I was stuffed for a second. So this all goes back. If you want to break down way on the desert and you need to bump start a motorcycle, it's pretty cool to have a lighter one. Oh, let's see if I'm out here, man. I think it's just the battery. So it's old, over 2 years old, been sitting a lot, hasn't been getting the attention. The Honda and the KLR have been taking all that. So, and I was just getting ready to do a little service on this, do an oil change and do some things to it. So I was like, I need to start riding this thing again. So today was the day I was gonna come out and, well, make this video, talk about how awesome this bike is. And you know, here we go. I thought I was stranded out in the desert. Nope. Wrong. Got her started. There you go, man. These are all good points. Yeah, see, I'm pretty far back here, and I was able to climb up a hill and get cell service, so I got to call out to Jen. She's like, where are you? And I was like, well, I'm pretty far out in the desert. She's like, can I get a car out there? I was like, nope. Well, how do I find you? I was like, well, this leads me to my other point. I've mentioned in a couple of the videos, I have a Garmin Inreach. It's kind of like a spot, so I can get text out and stuff like that if I'm out of cell phone reception, or I can get an SOS out if I'm injured. But it would, I'd send it a message out to Jen, and it's got a GPS, so that GPS coordinate goes with that message, so they could see exactly where I was if it came down to that, which I'm glad it didn't. Fun stuff, man. Fun stuff. So it's important right now not to fall off the bike and risk having it shut down. Here's a good thing, because I'm in first gear and I was talking about that torquiness. Yeah, you know, I mean, you're going down kind of steep chunky shit like that, man, this is great. She just tractors over it. Alright, so this is the little section here. It's not really too intimidating, but I needed to get past this. There we go. See, this is another thing. This bike is just nice and nimble, torquey and first, confidence inspiring, and going down stuff like that. There you have it, man. And then you can just tractor up this stuff. You're all good, man. Sorry about the wind. It is absolutely howling, but I'll also mention, you know, is the XT250 really nice on the road? Yeah, of course it is. It's great. Are there better bikes? Yes, of course there are. I've spent most of this trip on the dirt, but it's a very smooth riding bike on the asphalt. Shifting smooth. The only thing was just what I mentioned earlier about, you know, if you want to ride on that interstate 70, 65 miles per hour, it just pins it out. That's about as fast as she'll go. So, and it's only 5th gears. But aside from that, just fine on the asphalt. Great bike for it. So, all in all, if you're looking, you know, even if you're looking into downgrading to a bike, and by downgrade I just mean downsizing, I should have said that. If you're even into just downsizing to a bike, a 250 is a good idea. But there are a couple things to think about, and that is the height of the motorcycle. You know, if you're a tall person, you're gonna feel like your knees are in your chest, and that doesn't work so good on long rides. And also, while we're on that subject, that topic, that point, the seat. Yeah, the seat is my least favorite thing about the 250. But bearing those in mind, this is a great bike for the asphalt, for the dirt, for commuting, within reason, that is. And the price is right, the reliability is right. You know, it is just right. So there you have it, folks. I'll do more rides with the 250. We are keeping it, even though I've been focusing more on the 300 lately, but definitely after I put a new battery in the 250, that is. More rides with the 250 to come, more with the 300, more content to come. So folks, if you're new to the channel, consider subscribing. It really helps us out. We appreciate you watching. Stay safe out there. We'll see you next time. D-Rock out. Adios.